I feel like I've been talking about this move for months now because I kind of have. And now it's finally on us, and I think my bullet journal setup is going to be a lot simpler to reflect that. Hi everybody, today I will be setting up my bullet journal for the month of July 2021. I thought I might be done with this particular notebook by now, but actually I probably have just enough room in it to get through July, which means that my new bullet journal in August will be started in Colorado, where I'll be living. I'm currently in Napa, filming this mid-June. At this point, I think we're about 3 weeks out from when the movers come. So exciting times. July is going to be a really big month for us. It's going to be a very transitional month for us. We are going to be moving. Our movers come on the 6th. We'll be driving over 3 days to get to Colorado from California. We will be in a hotel in Colorado for several days after that, for at least a week and a half, I believe, in between getting there and when we take possession of our new house. Then we're going to have probably about a week or so until the movers show up, and then another week or so until my kids show up. My kids actually show up in Denver on the 31st. And then on top of all of that, our cat Loki, who is 10, I can link an update video for more information, but he is in like late stages of kidney disease and is probably, I don't know how much longer we have with him, but in the meantime, to keep him comfortable, we have to administer medications to him and give him subcutaneous fluids every other day or so. So we'll be doing that whole thing while we're in the drive and the hotels and everything else. So it's a lot. Plus we're going to be getting rid of most of our furniture because of costs for moving, and then getting new furniture when we get there. It's just a lot of things. And I think my bullet journal is actually going to be simple to help me get through this month as painlessly as possible, and then August will probably be all sorts of full of decorating the house and all sorts of shit. Although, of course, I have no idea about that so far. I'll talk about it a little bit more in the video, but I don't plan on doing weekly setups with this bullet journal. I won't be doing live plan with me's in the month of July, except for at the very, very end of it, because I'll be in the process of everything we just talked about. But I also think that it'll be easier for me when we're in the hotel and everything else to just go back to basics with the daily logging kind of situation of the original bullet journal method. I think that's what I'm going to do. So it's going to be a stripped back setup. There won't be any fancy weekly setups as well. So I'm fine with that. And if you're not fine with that, it's not your bullet journal anyway. My supplies are a little bit stepped back as well, just a little bit. I'm using the Bear and Fig journal. It's my last month in it, and I don't think I'll be using a Bear and Fig journal for my next bullet journal. There are two major contenders. You can see their videos linked down below. The Scribbles That Matter and the Passion Journal. I'll likely use both of them over the next year or so because I have them both and I like them both. I just don't know which one is going to be my August journal yet. Instead of fine liners this month, I am going with my favorite gel pen, which is the Pentel Energel Clenna in the 05 tip. It's been the main pen I'm using on my weekly spreads, but I have been using fine liners on my monthly spreads, and I decided this month, fuck it, I don't want to have to worry about fine liners while I am traveling, so I'm just going to use the same pen for everything. And again, I'm fine with that. That's my motto this month. I'm fine with that. I'm still going to do a Dutch door though, so I've got my cutting mat and my cutting tool. My theme this month is lines. It's actually one I offered to my patrons back when we first started doing this thing where they vote on my bullet journal theme, doodle, whatever, for the month. It didn't win, but people suggested we bring it back in the summer, so I did, and they chose it. So my color palette this month is almost entirely greens with one kind of darker gray color. It's a mixture of Tombow dual brush pens and Pitt artist brush pens as usual, and the colors will be linked in the description in case you would like to try that color palette. I originally thought I would try and do more realistic doodles, and then I decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go sloppy AF. Sloppy AF. So I decided to start my doodles by blocking out color and then going over them with with my Pentel Energel Clenna, because that's what I'm using. Going over them in a kind of a scribbly way, and maybe even adding some like painterly looking dots and shit to kind of add more scribbly interest. Scribbly is another thing you're going to be hearing a lot in this particular setup. And I guess that's a perfect segue from this ramble into the actual setup itself, so let's go. My quote this month is going to be one that I said in a phone call as part of a group I'm in. And you may hear background noise because I am filming this in the morning. My kids are getting ready for school because I was supposed to film yesterday, but I wiped out. If you follow me on Instagram, I talked about how I wiped out in front of Whole Foods, and so I was in a lot of pain and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, The quote is one that I said when I was in this group because they were talking about incorporating checklists to help us get stuff done. And I said checklists are my love language. And since I'm expecting that most of July is going to just be lists, I thought it was appropriate. And I wanted to keep it pretty simple, so I did this kind of scribbly block letter and the cursive, and then I just added the little bit of green and the kind of dot thing I was planning on doing along the rest of it, because there's going to be some limes here, but I didn't want to put limes here. I don't know, I just wanted to keep it simple. And I will be making this for my patrons as a download that they'll be getting. I think by the time this video goes up, they'll already have it. Pretty sure. This is one of those, I made plans, but I still have no idea what my calendar looks like because I live my best life that way. Anyway, for my cover page, what I want to do is write the word July like this, vertically, and then add the limes behind it. I was thinking about not doing this because I only have so many pages left, but I figured, why the hell not, right? And then the back page I've got for my to-dos and everything. So I'm going to start, I guess, with my month word. I just bonked my elbow, which is all bruised. Frickin' crap. Frickin' frackin'. Slightly crooked, but that's okay. Only slightly. Also, the great thing about using a pen like the Klenna when you're doing a scribbly style is that it can look a little bit off kilter, and it'll look like you planned it that way. your like scribble lines don't need to be perfect for you to be okay with having it look like that's the style you were going for. So I added some extra embellishment, some leaves, etc. And I added a little bit of the darkest green to these and to the love language to kind of tie it together. And I like how this looks. It looks kind of sprinkled. So I'm going to cut around it. And I think what I'm going to do is just do a very light cut around it because I don't want to get too detailed. My elbow hurts too much. Last night I tried to brown turkey meat and it sucked. So I can imagine that trying to cut in a super detailed way would suck my balls. Well, and I noticed now the whole design went kind of crooked. Oh well, kind of crooked. It could be my tagline, since that seems to be the theme of almost everything I do. Let me just round these little corners off. Next is my little to-do list behind this, and I wanted to kind of divide it into to-do and to buy, since we're going to have a bunch of to-do pre-move and to-do post-move, but I think it's just going to be to-do and to buy, so the to-dos will be things I'll need to do before the move, and to buy will be things to buy once we've moved, like when we're in the hotel. I think it's how I'm going to go about it, because I think my to-do lists when we've moved are going to be later in the bullet journal. And I'm not going to leave a lot of space for the to-do list, because once July hits, most of my big to-do list for the move is going to already be done, fingers crossed. But my to-buy list is mainly going to be not furniture items. We have a running list of that in our Notion. I'm actually thinking more like incidental items, like cleaning supplies, toilet paper, pantry items, stuff like that. Staples, things that we know we're going to need to buy as soon as we get into the house. This is basically like my first Target/Costco run when we get in the house. And fun fact, our Target and Costco are quite close to each other and quite close to the house. So yay, question mark? That's not even a question mark. Yay. Exclamation point. And then I'm just going to take this green and I'm going to do like a scribble. Kind of go with the whole scribbly theme of this whole setup. And the main reason I wanted it to be kind of a scribbly theme is A, that means it gives me room to fuck up and I won't even care, which I don't really care that much anyway, but you know what I'm saying. But B, it'll let me work fast, which when I'm in here, I don't want to have to think too hard. And you can see this is like this is the part of the Bear and Fig where it's perforated. Now I almost just tore this puppy out, so Better be careful about that. The calendar here that I'm going to do is actually inspired by something I saw on Instagram. The account is The Odd Duck, and I'll link it down below. Now, basically, the way that they had their calendar set up was they had their calendar and they had like some strawberries around like the edges, and then they had some information over here. And I'm going to kind of do that, except I'm going to do limes. The stuff over here is going to be hotel information for the 4 hotels we're staying in. Wait, is it 4? Wait. Napa, Reno, Salt Lake. Yeah, it's 4. 4 hotels over the course of our move. It's going to be fun. So I just want to have all 4 of those here with confirmation numbers and check-in times and check-out times. Check-in times mostly, because check-out times aren't going to matter because we're going to be leaving earlier in the day when we're driving. So that's going to be, and hopefully I counted everything out right. I counted everything out like last week before I got ready to film this, so I have no idea if I counted this out right or not. Damn it. I wanted to leave this box empty. I did the same thing last month.
Get carried away.
Yeah. At least this time I know where my whiteout is. It's 6 o'clock. Do you know where your whiteout is? It looks like the sloppy look is basically taken over this calendar, but I'm totally fine. Oh, wait, I wanted to add a line to it. There we go. Now I'm done. That's what I wanted. The sloppy look is taken over, and I don't even mind. I added 2 different colors of leaves and put them in here. And one of the things that I did was also put into my calendar when the movers are coming. We know they're coming on the 6th. The 22nd is the first day that they could show up, so it could be after that. And then I have my kids' trip to Bend to see my sister. We won't have them at all in July until the 31st. And when we're driving, and then I have space here, although I didn't leave myself a lot of room for our final hotel, but that's okay. I will be drawing in maybe a teardrop, or maybe I'll use a color to mark it in, oh hi Mark, but I will be using this calendar to track when we're with the days that we successfully give Loki his subcutaneous fluids. And this is it. I told you it was going to be a very, very basic spread, because I don't want to worry about decoration for the rest of it. I just want to, if I decide to, I'll bring my markers with me, but I'm going to keep it pretty simple. We have my quote and my to-do list under the cover page, and oh, I totally bled through there. And then we have my calendar, and that's all I'm doing for July, because I'm not going to use anything else. I wanted to save the last pages that I have for to-do lists and for daily bullet journaling as I need it. It's basically going to go back to the standard style of daily bullet journaling, where you just make your list each day. Not a day per page or whatever, it's just whatever I need room for. And I will check in on Instagram and show you pictures as I'm going on if you want to see how I'm doing it. But I'm being honest, like I could do a huge setup for this month, but I wouldn't use it, and I'd just be doing it for the sake of YouTube. And I don't like doing things for the sake of YouTube. I like doing things for the sake of Cindy. So anyway, now that you know my thoughts on how my July is going to go and how I'm not going to be a poser for the gram, I'd like to know from you what your favorite back to basics, bare bone planning style is. What is it you do? Do you do a to-do list on a notepad? Do you use sticky notes? Do you just go to your Google Calendar? What do you do when you are stressed out or when you are busy and you don't have time to do any sort of creative planning and you just need to get shit done? Do you have a style for that? If you do, let us know. If you don't, maybe you should look in the comments and find something, because I found that when I am the busiest, I tend to not want to open a planner up. I just want to try and get things done, but then I tend to lose track of everything I have to do because I'm not writing things down. So it's like a paradox, right? So yeah, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, my friends, peace out.